Hello, everyone, and welcome to the WSSEA 2026 spring season here, powered by LandFest. We got an exciting best of one between two very talented teams. But before we get into all of that, got to introduce the legend to my digital right here. Eki, how are we feeling?
I'm feeling pretty good. First Overwatch cast ever. I'm pretty excited about what's going to come up here. I think first up, we're going to be doing a round of Escort, everybody's favorite mode, the easiest mode to understand, easiest maps in the game, in my opinion. Very easy, very straightforward, and allows for a lot of great team composition. So I think we're going to be seeing some interesting gameplay coming out from both of these teams.
Maybe that's why I like Escort so much, or Hybrid. I like the payloads, but maybe it's because it's easier for me in my old age. Honestly, there's a lot of talent littered across these schools here at WSSEA. It's always an honor to get to showcase the young talent. So Prairie, Camas, or Camas, excuse me, two schools that we've seen on screen quite a few times. So now we get a clash, like you mentioned. I think we're starting out on Escort. Push has grown on me a lot. I used to be a little bit of a hater, and then we get to potentially end with Hybrid. So I'm happy all the way around.
Yeah, this is a pretty good lineup, honestly, all things considered. I used to also not be a fan of Push. Colosseo, the glass, really ruined that for me. But then they removed the glass. Some of you may know the infamous remove the glass incident. They removed it, and now the map is significantly better. Push has grown on me a little bit too, so I'm kind of excited just to see the gameplay on all of these maps, really. I'm very much excited for Hybrid. I think probably that's going to be the more exciting game mode if we get to it, which hopefully we do. Hopefully we do. But time will tell. Both of these teams are extremely talented, so we'll just have to wait and see.
Well, I'm ready. I know these players are as well. Before we get into it, I want to give a big shout out to Zotac Gaming, though, for powering today's stream. Thanks to their incredible support, we're able to bring this broadcast to all of you, helping to showcase all the amazing talent we have here in Scholastic Esports in WSSEA. So you can show your appreciation for Zotac Gaming by giving them a shout out on social media. Make sure to join their community Discord as well. And don't forget to use hashtag powered by Zotac or hashtag ZotacUSA when you make that post.
Yeah, and I think with people being, I think they're ready, so we should be able to just throw it over here soon. Got 5 on each, looking good. Everybody's stacked up, ready to go. Gonna get it started on Route 66, Hit Scan Paradise, as myself and many other people that I know have described it as, and I mean, they're not wrong. I'm not wrong. Everybody knows it's basically a long corridor the entire way through. It's wonderful for hit scan and pretty good for projectiles too. If you get a little bit of junk spam, you can get a little bit of fire spam through. You're always going to get damage no matter what. You're going to get a roller that lands. You're going to get a direct that lands. You might get some splash that lands just from a Hail Mary rocket. You know, there's plenty of things that you can run on this map. A lot of team compositions are going to work, but the biggest thing for the offense is going to be getting through this first point. I have noticed in my own games, in games at a lot of levels, this first point is so annoying to get through because you've got a lot of high ground for the defenders, but not a lot to work with for the attackers.
Yeah, you know, both these teams popping here. For Prairie, they're returning champs from the previous season. Their top 500 tank of Senator Slime is in that coaching role now, helping these young students look for another championship. So it's been a lot of fun watching this team continue to grow. Camas certainly has a tough task in front of them, but we know the talent they have as well, and they're certainly capable of an upset. This one here is going to be a really fun one.
Yeah, I think this one is going to be, how do you say, a thriller? I think this one is going to be real interesting. I think it's going to be down to the wire. We're going to have a nail-biter match here, like you said. Camas has a lot to go up against here, but, I mean, I'm pretty sure we have all seen some crazier upsets, all things considered. The Sigma coming out on the side of Prairie, which is someone I honestly don't see very much on this map, just with how pokey they are. Though I guess if you are playing back a little bit, actually no, sorry, they're on the offense, I believe. It looks like Camas is on the defense, so pardon me. But I guess on the offense, the Sigma might work a little bit more, but me personally, I would try to maybe run dive, but with the Diva on the defense, I don't know if that would really work out.
I mean, we see a lot of those dive brawly comps here as well. Zarya is always great versus Diva, but for some reason, Sigma has just been working really well lately. And a lot of, especially at the scholastic level, we see these students playing with that comfortability pick, not always the meta. So it's something that's worked out for them. You see Pickle Ree over here on Prairie, who is one of the Valorant players as well. They've got that speed from Lucio. On the other side, Mizuki, Rotom breaking out the new support, who's also been tough to deal with. We see Diva up top, taking some damage, able to back off, waiting those supports to top her back off.
Now going in again, retreating to the high ground, just trying to take some pot shots at people using that DM to great effect. Getting a lot of use out of here. They're going to find 2 picks of the Kiri and the Lucio. Great pick from the Diva there. The railgun shots from the Sojourn onto the Sigma, doing a lot of work here, getting a lot of great damage through. Diva going to be able to walk in with the help from Mizuki and find the pick onto Game Boy. So that will give them a couple of seconds off the clock, close to a minute potentially, that they're going to be able to cut down worth of time here, as the payload sitting in a very nice spot for the defenders to hold on to. It gets pretty difficult for the attackers to work it through, but they're taking a lot of space on the high ground here.
Yeah, Tuna's already found Bob, though, and with one support down, Game Boy could be in trouble. At Sigma, tucked into a tight corridor. Max Cheese is going to make him pay. Don picks up on Tuna in the meantime, but it's a trade for back and forth here, and luckily for Prairie, they've got that close spawn point, so if they can find a couple picks, they might be able to get a little bit of breathing room here.
Yeah, I think picks are going to go the longest way possible. You can't really go in super aggressive with this attacking comp. You've got Sigma, you've got a lot of poke, but you do have the Sojourn, you do have that railgun to help you. The Blade is available for Dawn if they so choose to use it. They do get taken down. Nice railgun shot from Tuna. Going to be able to find that pick. Now the Diva going in, going to be finding some damage. Reaper on the flank here, getting some pressure in on the attackers as they all peel back ever so slightly. Lucio down. They're going to be down a healer for the brief moment. No speed boost, no nothing. Reaper going in onto the high ground. 90% ult on that Death Blossom, so it is almost here, almost ready for a great play from this Reaper. Good damage onto the Diva from the attackers. They're going to force the tank away, but minute 45 left for them to make some progress.
And we see the Blade here in the hands of Don. Game Boy ready to let the melody sing as well, and the ults are beginning to come online for both of these teams, but it is the Reaper. The Death Blossom will bloom into a triple. Max Cheese will pick up the fallen pieces. Tuna will get a piece of the pie as well, and all of that progress, that momentum quickly stifled away now.
What a beautiful play from the Reaper there, just finding a fantastic ult, the triple to seal the deal. Now they do still have a minute on the attacking side, but time is dwindling, and it is dwindling fast. The Sigma ult coming through, lifting up the squishies, but only going to be able to find 1 pick so far. Sojourn going to be able to mop up the pick onto the Reaper. The Diva is going to be diving in on top of, I believe that is the Sojourn, has to peel away to fight the Genji. D-mech'd Baby Diva out. They're not going to stagger the Baby Diva, though. They're going to go in for the pick. The Genji trying to find it, distracting the Baby Diva. Now Lucio diving in to finish it off. Sojourn in the meantime going to be able to find the pick on to Kiri, I believe, on the attacking side. They will find that pick on the defending Kiri. So they're getting some push time, but the defenders still have 30 seconds to try and nudge them away from this point.
They've got 3 ults to work with. We see one getting close as well. The Blade will come out from Don. They've got a way to win this final fight if they want extra time, but Don falls early. It's Wolverine credited with the pick. Tuna will rain down here as well, and Diamond Dude will find a dub with that one. Tuna, the railgun collects Lucio, and the domino effect in full effect. Prairie so close to the extra time. The time will dwindle away, and Camas looking very good in the start.
Yeah, they're putting on quite the display, honestly. And I mean, like I said, this point is kind of rough to get through as an attacker. You've got a lot working against you. But the biggest thing here is that Prairie did try, I think, almost everything at their disposal. They went the high ground. They tried to take that flank route from the high ground. They tried to attack directly, but I think at the end of the day, the Sigma, the poking, it's just a little bit of a mismatch in the team comp. I think maybe you want to commit to a full composition of one type. Like I said earlier, maybe dive. You want to pressure those squishies away, have somebody get in that can bully the Kiriko, bully anybody. But as it stands right now, they are not sitting too pretty with no point captured. They didn't get past first, and they're going to have a hard task ahead of them as they transition over to the defense.
You got to have that attitude of, hey, anything they can do, certainly we can do better. So we'll see if they can make an outstanding stop of their own. But you're right, it's going to be incredibly difficult. For Camas, they don't have to get very far. And so realistically, they can save up some ults, look to use them all at the same time, and just power forward as that cohesive unit. It's a tough task for Prairie, but they're returning champs. They've been in these tough situations before. We'll see if they're able to overcome this one.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure they've seen tougher spots. I mean, this really isn't too difficult of a situation to try and escape from. We do still have the D.Va. Tuna's up on the Widowmaker, so I'm assuming they're going to be trying to find a pick at some point here, but no, they swap off to the Sojourn. The Widow wasn't working. D.Va goes in, gets booped back by the Lucio, but getting a lot of good damage onto the Sigma, who's playing on that high ground. Now jumping in, D.Va diving in. They're going to get stunned away. Lucio getting a nice boop, going to back them up. But Sigma getting a lot of great damage in this tiny little choke here. The Hypersphere is doing work. Going to be able to find the pick on a Mizuki here, trying to pressure a little bit further forward. But D.Va with the DM. They knocked D.Va out with the rock, though. But that should be all she wrote for this initial push. D.Va will survive, and they'll just have to regroup.
And regroup once more. We see Dawn having a lot of success, and you talked about the high ground for the defense versus that low ground. D.Va is something that can kind of change those odds a bit, and that's what we see here. D.Va trying to push him off the high ground. Tuna will supplement in with this rifle, trying to put in some damage here as well. And now we see Bob dangerously low, but Dawn will demech him. Baby D.Va trying to dance around. It's Plague Stripes in the kill feed, though. Game Boy, Dawn, Tuna, and now Wolverine. Everybody getting a little piece of the action as it comes down to just Wolverine here. And a great stand now from Prairie.
Wolverine manages to fly away, or not fly away, but TP away rather, but might as well have flown away. Lucio does dive in, though, to secure the staggered pick, so that's going to slow down the attackers quite a bit as they have to wait for that Reaper. Now, any amount of time you can leech off of the clock is going to be so helpful for you here. D.Va does dive in onto the Ashe. Now fighting the Lucio, has to fly away. Sigma with the ult should be able to find a pick onto the Kiriko, and that is exactly what will happen. The Sojourn does fall a little bit earlier as well. D.Va will find a pick onto Dawn. The Genji is no more for the defending side. Wolverine falls as well, though, so no Reaper, no ults for the side, or sorry, there is only the Kitsune Rush from the Kiriko. Now the Railgun from the side of the attackers as well is online. Mizuki ult, Sojourn ult, and Kiri ult all available at their disposal, but likewise Bob Blade and the screen from Baptiste on the defenders is available.
I waited to see this Kakai Sanctuary come out here. Tuna dangerously low and won't get an opportunity to use that railgun. Ronom right there to follow as well. And it's already 2 down early. Game Boy on the Sigma having a little bit more success here on the defensive side. We'll see Baby D.Va remech here as well. Has the ult should they opt to use it. But again, it is Wolverine on the Reaper. He's good for 3. And now it's trouble for Prairie.
Oh, and the Sigma throws themselves off the map here. This is going to be a pretty dominant win if they can keep this momentum up from the side of Prairie, as I believe they're going to be pretty slow to return to the defense. The Sojourn slow coming in very nicely. Lucio with the beat does get through, but I don't believe it affects any of his teammates. Dawn goes in with the blade, assaulting the Mizuki. Going to be able to find a pick, but the Kekai Sanctuary is deployed. It's going to be Kiriko finding the pick onto Baptiste. Now the Lucio falls as well, and Ashe falls a little bit earlier, and the final pick onto the Bob does come through. The D.Va bomb does get used, a little bit of BM potentially, as Camas is able to find the pick. Sorry, mispronunciation. Camas is able to find the win on Route 66.
We'll take a look at the play of the game here, and who else but Wolverine. We saw it a couple times, most likely with this Death Blossom, and just getting right into the mix. It's a quick triple here as well. I believe he ends up finding the Quadra before Sigma then throws themselves off the side of the map as well. But Just a great job here. Good situational awareness, able to stagger out some of those ults on the side of Camas, and they really kind of control the pacing from the beginning of Route 66. But we talk about it. Sometimes you're better on a certain type or a certain map than others. So for Prairie, they get an opportunity to bounce back. We head into push where they'll get to choose the map, I do believe. But luckily for Camas, when you're choosing a push map, there is really no defense or offense, right? So it doesn't affect you as much, I think, when it's that second map choice.
Yeah, I like to equate push a little bit to, I play a lot of TF2. TF2 is my main game. I like to equate push a lot to 5CP. Now, there's Clash that is much more similar to 5CP. Obviously, you've got the control points that you have to fight for. But I think push very much resembles the tug of war aspect of that mode a lot more. There is no concrete ruling of defense or attack or anything like that. I mean, there can be at certain times, if you've got the bot so far on your side, but they haven't taken the lead yet, you can kind of just park the bus. You can move it a little bit so it's not so deep that if you lose a team fight that it kind of comes back to bite you. But you can park the bus essentially and start to enter this kind of hard defense mode. But I do believe we have the map again going into push onto New Queen Street. Interestingly enough, I would have thought maybe Coliseo or Esperanza, but hey, New Queen Street is it's a pretty good map.
Yeah, honestly, I like New Queen Street. I feel like we see a lot of more of it over here toward the WSSEA side of things. I mean, it's the lovely Toronto, Canada. Hockey's been super popular recently. I don't know if we were watching any of the Olympics, but
Yeah.
So again, I like this map because there's some long sight lines. There's a lot of little intricacies. There's some, twisty, turny corridors there as well. But there's some verticality. There's little shops to dip in and out of. So there's a lot of opportunities for flank and really throwing a wrench into your opponent's kind of game plan, if you will. So we'll see how these two teams look to navigate this tough map, though. Again, it should be another exciting one.
Yeah, I think this is definitely going to be an exciting game. Like I said, this is a very tug of war-like map. There's going to be a lot of back and forth. We might see a surge from one team, and then they immediately lose a team fight, and then there's a surge from another team or from the other team. Anything could happen here. Prairie could come in, win a massive team fight, use all their ults, and now Camas is in the ult advantage. They've got ults at their disposal that they can use. They can pace them out. They can use them all together. Depends on their team composition, of course. But as it stands right now, we're going to have the D.Va, basically the same comp from the Route 66 game on, I believe this is Camas on the blue side here, and Prairie on the red. Basically running the same compositions. I do believe Dawn, instead of Genji, will be on Anran, and the Juno will be here instead of, I think they had Curie as well during their defensive holds. So, going to be an interesting matchup here as we do go live.
Yeah, I believe Bob was on the Carico and now on the Baptiste, and Gurley, I think, was on the Lucio. So they did make a few swaps here as well. We'll see if it pays off for him. I love seeing players that are comfortable making those changes, especially on the fly throughout the match as well, though. We'll see if Sigma has success here. Max still on the D.Va, pretty much the same as you had mentioned on the other side of things. If it's not broke, don't fix it type attitude here from Camas. We'll see if they're able to continue this pressure forward. It's a nice rock that does demech Max Cheese, so it is a good start here so far for Prairie.
Yeah, Prairie is having a great start right now. They demech the D.Va, like you said. Reaper going in. It will be Wolverine TPing out to go for the health pack, but it's not there. He will fall. Tuna will fall as well as the Anron's going to be able to find both picks there, and that'll give Prairie a very good bit of space, a lot of time to recapture the lead, get it a little bit further over, and give themselves some breathing room as they're able to take up a little bit more space here. A lot of good damage coming out from the Sojourn, though, playing in the window. The high ground is your best friend in all FPS games, and I love to see people utilizing that. Pressuring from the flank just a little bit is Tuna now. The slow orb coming out from the Sojourn on Prairie, just trying to prevent them from pushing through on that flank. Tuna going to be able to win the duel with the Baptiste, so that's one support down. Nice fade from Wolverine to dodge the rock here, and now the pressure is on as the Sigma has to use his grasp and escape away, trying to regroup with the team. It will beat the Sojourn falling. Now the Juno is Tuna going to be able to find the slow orb pick onto the Juno, and now Camas is looking to get themselves back in the lead.
That's when it's tough, when you lose that support early. We saw Game Boy and the rest of the crew trying to back off, trying to give some space so Bob could get back here in time. Unfortunately, they begin to kind of stagger out a little bit. So they've got to take a deep breath and regroup here one more time. They're looking for a bit of a pincer play. We see Camas cheating forward a bit here. Sigma in that front line. Someone dancing around the back stairs here as well. Now Bob going out here, looking to keep everybody topped up while trying to apply a little bit of damage here. We've got some ults on deck ready to flex, including that window. That Melody sings the grab flux. Will find Wolverine, and now Prairie beginning to battle back once more.
Yeah, they found their way back in. They've got a little bit of space going their way as they're just trying to pressure. But, I mean, they've got a lot of ground to cover up here. 55 meters in favor of the side of Camas. D.Va demeched here. Sigma peeling back into the stairwell here. Forced to use that grasp yet again. The only cooldown they have available is their shield, but they use it again. Shield's about to break, however. They will be forced to peel it back. Sigma basically has no utility available for him at this moment. Those rock and grasp should come off cooldown soon. Looks like Wolverine might be caught in. Forces the Suzu out, but it does miss.
Now we see Pickle Ree finding one with the railgun here as well. Wolverine, who had some big plays in that last map, has been a little bit quieter. Tuna able to answer back as a 1-for-1 trade, but Ton has found two, and from dusk till dawn, it's a nice 2K. Bob has the ult here as well. Window not necessarily needed at the moment, and unfortunately for Camas, they leave two ults on the table with those early deaths. In contention here, Prairie barely looking to kind of skate by, but I believe that it is Camas that has taken that slight lead.
Yeah, I do think they have taken a little bit of a lead here. They should be able to push this bot just barely over the mark, but it doesn't look like they're going to be able to. That BAP screen did end up getting used, but they're already about halfway up to their ult once more. Once Onron comes back up from the respawn queue, they will have their ult ready, and so too will Sigma. Two ults online for both teams, the Blossom and the Railgun charge for the side of, I believe this is Camas, and then for Prairie, they've got the Sigma and the Onron ult. The Onron ult should be interesting to see. You might be able to pair that with the Sigma ult to guarantee a couple picks.
See if they can do just that here in a moment. Right now, Camas just enjoying a slight lead by about a meter here as well. But now back to the push spot here. They're going to try to make a little bit of extra leeway. We see the ult coming out here from Sigma as well, but there hasn't been any deaths on the board yet. Gamer Boy dangerously low will get topped up. The rock doesn't quite hit, but Don has found one. Max will answer back. Don will fall to the wayside, and well, it's been a bit of back and forth, not just in the game, but in these battles as well. We'll see a little bit more blue on the feed, and Camas looking to take this fight.
Yeah, Camas is playing exceptionally well right now. They managed to survive that double ult combo, at least for the most part. Sojourn going to be able to find the pick on to Gurley here as they managed to find the pick onto the Juno. Sigma going to be able to fall as well. D.Va going to be winning the tank 1v1, and now the Sojourn v Sojourn, the melee pick from Tuna. That will give them 3 to work with, and a delayed Sojourn spawn as well as they look to take even more space and expand their lead. They had 0.57 meters of space in their favor, although I guess they would have to make up a bit 100 on the side of Prairie to actually get in the lead once more. Juno does fall once again to Wolverine.
Yeah, you know, they get that closer spawn unlocked as well, and that makes things a little bit more difficult here, especially on that walk back. Prairie, they can't afford to lose this one. It's only a best of 3, so with such a short series, every game so important, and Max just in this backline being so disruptive doesn't need picks because he's buying a lot of time and buying a lot of space for his team.
And buying a lot of space here, really just playing D.Va very, very, very well. Just getting so much, letting the team kind of ease that payload forward. And what a hook, or not, sorry, not a hook, what a chain from Mizuki. Securing the free pick onto the on-run. Now the Sojourn will fall. D.Va's going to be able to find that pick. They're pressuring very hard. Baptiste will fall. They do have the BAP ult and the Sojourn ult, so the screen and the Sojourn ult could be detrimental here if they are able to get out of spawn in time.
I don't know. There's so many ults on the side of Camas as well, and they're going to fight to get out here, but when they do, it's most likely, gonna cause some staggering issues. So they got to hope to find some picks, keep that overtime, or not overtime fuse, but keep that contention lit there. We see the Kitsune rush coming out. It is plaid stripes, but Max got 3 now, and the big ult will find 2. Tuna will get another one as well. Don with the res, Bob holding it down. He's found Wolverine, but Bob will go down as well, and it's only a matter of time now.
It is only a matter of time until Camas wins this round. D.Va going in onto the Juno, preventing them from leaving their spawn, giving their team a lot of time to push this cart, but they don't have anybody on it. The cart has been moved, and it looks like Prairie, against all odds, is able to defend themselves and keep themselves in the game. I think they're 0.30 meters away from losing this game and being sent home with a 2-0 loss against Camas here, but they have a lot of ground to make up if they want any hope of taking home a win and forcing a third map.
Yeah, they heard only a matter of time, and they were ready to make me eat my words. It was at a goal line stand, and it was Game Boy on the Sigma who pops out and finds a double. This time it's Dawn, and both supports go down now. They've got a big opportunity here. As we see, it's all red in the kill feed. Max the last standing, and honestly doesn't want to stay alive for too long because of that risk for staggering. Just go ahead, fall to the wayside, look to regroup with your team. You still got a couple minutes to work with, but at the same time, all of a sudden, Prairie has just seemed to awaken the beast.
Prairie has definitely locked in here. Now they've secured that forward spawn, so if anyone should get picked off, shouldn't be too big a deal. Now the big team fight coming through. Kekai Sanctuary is ready to use. D.Va Bomb is now online as well, but no other ults are really close. I guess the Sojourn ult is almost there, but can't really, say close counts all that much. D.Va diving in, going to be able to find a pick onto the Sigma with the help of the Reaper. They also find a pick onto the Juno. So that's 2 for Wolverine, and now the chase is on. D.Va will find the stagger pick onto Sojourn for Prairie, and they will now be moving the cart back toward their spawn once more. It's looking pretty dire for Prairie.
That's tough. There's just not a lot of time to work with here as well. So even if you regain control of the bot, you have to be able to win a multitude of fights in a row. Now, they've got a lot of ults about to come online, plus the 2 they've got there. But with Dawn falling early, this could spell trouble. We're going to see him immediately pressure in and pop all of the ults here. It is Camas who's looking to close it out. It's a double for Max, a double for Ronan. The team kill comes in, and Camas will topple the former champions of Prairie High School.
Very well played from Camas there. I mean, just great usage of ults, great team play, grouped up a lot, and it's actually going to be the Sigma for, I believe this is Prairie, getting the play of the game here. A great Flux, just finding a lot of value in that, levitating so many players, forcing the D.Va to fall. This should, I believe this ends up resulting in a D-Mech later on, but very nicely played from both teams here. I mean, Prairie really gave it their all. It's not like they didn't try or anything. They played exceptionally well, and so too did Camas, but it looks like Camas is looking to go all the way for this one, as they really left it all out on the field there. I mean, they just played exceptionally well.
Yeah, and it's tough, right? You had a tank that was top 500, and you come off a championship season, and so you lose that senior, you lose that tank. Now, luckily for you, he's back in that coaching role, helping guide you along the way. And so there's still plenty of time in this season to work toward those playoffs. I wouldn't be surprised if we see these two teams going head-to-head again at some point in the postseason.
Yeah, I would not be surprised at all if there was some kind of postseason matchup. I mean, that would just make sense. I mean, they both, like I said, they both played exceptionally well today. They both had great team play. They had a good ult coordination. I mean, we saw earlier, I predicted the Onron Sigma ult combo. Didn't really amount to as much as I thought it would because there was just so much healing getting pumped out from the side of Camas. But, I mean, it almost worked for them. I mean, they got so much damage out, but just so much healing pumped out as well, and it really just outdid all of the healing or all of the damage that you could really get out there, even with the burn and the hyperspheres and the damage from the ult. Just so much coming out that you kind of need more than just your Onron and your Sigma. Looking at all those people that are bunched up in that tiny room in that building, I mean, it's just unfortunate, but such is the way the cookie crumbles for this game, and Camas walks away with a 2-0 sweep.
Yeah, I mean, it was still a good matchup between the two teams. It was an amazing day of Overwatch. And speaking of amazing, we got to shout out another one of our amazing sponsors in that of LANFest. And this broadcast here is part of LANFest's Scholastic Esports program. It's a program that supports this league and many others. Since launching, LANFest has delivered over 300 broadcasts to Scholastic leagues in both Washington State and Indiana. And we provide these broadcasts free of charge to the leagues, the schools, and all the teams that we cover. And it's your generous donations that make all of that possible. Every $200 that we're able to raise will cover the operating costs for an entire regular season's broadcast. So if you appreciate our work and you are able to help out, please scan that QR code that you see on screen there and donate today.
Yeah, and I think that just about does it for everything that we have for you tonight. So we would like to thank you for tuning in, and we would like to congratulate Camas on their win tonight. Hoping to see these teams match up again in the postseason in that playoffs bracket, but time will tell with how these teams play against the other matchups they have. But I think that's it for us. So we will see you next time we come at you with some more Scholastic coverage.